A very good afternoon, good morning, good day, or at whichever time you're watching this video. Welcome to another session of Principles of Accounts. In this session, as you can see on the screen, we will look at double entry system for assets, liabilities, and capital. Do enjoy this segment. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to explain the recording and layout of financial transactions using double entry system. Students will be able to explain the meaning of debit and credit in bookkeeping terms. They will also be able to state the rules of the double entry system and to provide worked examples to illustrate the use of these rules.
Good day, students. Today we are going to look at the topic double entry system. Now, can anyone define the term double entry system?
Me, miss.
Go ahead, lightning bolt.
Miss, the double entry system is a system where each transaction is entered twice, once on the debit side and once on the credit side.
You are correct, lightning bolt. And just to add something extra, an account is the part of the double entry record containing details of transactions for a specific item. An account that is placed on a page is divided into two halves, one side called the debit side and the other called the credit side. The question is, which side is the debit side and which side is the credit side?
Me, miss.
Go ahead, Shellyan. Miss, the debit side is the left-hand side of the account in double entry and the right-hand side of an account is the credit side. You are quite correct. Now let us look at a sample on the next slide.
Alright, here's a sample of how an account is written up. At the top of the account, the title of the account is written at the top, as you can see on the screen here. Then you see you have two sides. The left hand side of the page, this is called the debit side, and debit is abbreviated as DR, as you will see in the upcoming video clips. On the right hand side of the page is called the credit side. Credit is abbreviated as CR. So you see the line that splits the account into left and right. So the right side of the account is the credit side and left hand side is the debit side. Now the double entry rules for accounts are as follows. When there are three categories that we look at here: is assets, liabilities, and capital. When an asset increase, when there's an increase in an asset, make a debit entry in the account. When there's a decrease in an asset, make a credit entry in the account. Liabilities now. Whenever liabilities increase, make a credit entry in the liability account. When a liability decreases, make a debit entry. When capital increases, you make a credit entry. When capital decreases, you make a debit entry. Well guys, let us now look at how the double entry rules and the accounting equation work hand in hand. Alright, here firstly we look at how to increase each item. What do we do? To increase an asset, you do what? You debit. To increase both the liability and the capital, you credit. Right. To decrease each item, for instance an asset, or to decrease an asset, you credit. Yes, so to decrease an asset, you credit. However, to decrease liability and capital, you make a debit entry. So when assets increase, you debit. When liabilities increase, you credit. And when capital increase, you credit. What is it saying? Basically, when assets decrease, you credit. When liabilities decrease, you make a debit entry. When capital decreases, you make a debit entry. So therefore, there's opposites in relation to assets and liabilities and capital. So assets, the entry for assets are totally different from those for liabilities and capital. So therefore, when you are making entries, you do two different things. If an asset increase, you will make a debit entry. If it decreases, you make a credit entry. If liabilities and capital increase, you make a credit entry. If liabilities and capital decrease, you make a debit entry. Please remember those rules. Do not forget them, because they are essentials as it relates to learning this concept of the double entry system. Well, let's look at some examples. Example 1 says paid cash $200 to buy machinery. The double entry for this transaction would be as follows. Because cash is going out and cash is an asset, a credit entry in the cash account will be needed. Machinery comes in and machinery is an asset, so a debit entry in the machine account will be needed. Examples of these will be shown in the video clips coming up afterwards. Example 2 now. You took $500 out of the cash till of the business and paid it into the bank account of the business. The double entry for this transaction would be as follows. Money comes into the bank, a debit entry in the bank account. So therefore, you're going to debit bank, cash goes out of the till, a credit entry in the cash account. So you debit bank, credit cash. You will see that later on when I'm doing it on the video clips coming up. Now you'll be asked to watch the video clips, which will show you how to make entries as it relates to the double entry system. Do paying attention to whatever is being done, after which you'll be asked to do the worksheets which are provided. Thank you very much. Well, this is the end. We hope and trust that you have enjoyed viewing this video presentation, and please do your worksheets and send them back to wheresoever they should be sent to. God bless you and have a wonderful day.